We understand that performance is important, but at the end of the day, it's all about presence. And that's what drives connection. That's what drives customer relationships. That's what drives value. And that's what we as human beings respond to in leaders. Yet so many of us, me included, have lived our lives, whether it be in school or business or corporate America, where we feel like we have to put on a mask. We have to pretend to be something we're not. And inadvertently, that creates what we call a gap in who we think we need to be and who we actually are. And it's all about our viewpoint of that gap. So is the viewpoint of that gap one that is built with confidence and empowerment, so we can see that, wait a minute, we can get where we need to go. I just need more skills. I need more education. I need more knowledge, or I just need to get up and do it and try by learning. Or is it one that stifles us? It's one that paralyzes us. And we start to feel like, oh, this is where I need to be. And I'm too embarrassed to admit where I am. I have shame in that feeling. And so I'm not even willing to try to get out there and do what I need to do. That is what the Imposter Files is about. I have over 25 years of experience leading Fortune 50 company executives to great success. Yet, what people didn't realize is behind the scenes, I was struggling with self-doubt. I was struggling with unworthiness, and I was struggling with imposter syndrome. Let's get into today's topic. But before, please make sure that you follow, like, and subscribe so that you can listen to all of my podcast episodes and catch all of these Imposter Files video blogs as I release them weekly on Tuesdays. Today's topic is impressiveness. So many of us focus on being impressive versus being knowledgeable. That's a distinction I learned from one of my coaches, Steve Chandler, several years ago. Nobody likes anybody that's impressive. Impressive is short-lived. Impressive, it doesn't create human connection, whereas knowledgeable actually gives us value. Being with someone that's impressive, does that give you value? The answer is no. Being with someone that's knowledgeable does give you value. You learn something. You get insight about yourself, about who you want to be, how you want to show up. Leadership presence, not performance, creates this element of not needing to be impressive. And that there's a whole paradox around this. You need to be professional. And being present is professional. How you show up completely changes the outcome of what you do. So you could be doing the same thing and not have the same level of presence and get a totally different result. One of my favorite examples is several years ago, I was at a high intensity training camp and I was doing burpees. I hate burpees. And then finally it clicked for me and I said, is this a helpful thought or an unhelpful thought? And immediately I knew the answer. It's an unhelpful thought. So I said, what if I started saying, I love doing this each time I had to go down and do the burpee? And I did that. And you know what? I don't remember doing the next 50 burpees. It literally went from being this painful experience to something that I don't even remember. It completely shifted my being and who I was while I was doing those burpees. So imagine what that can do to your leadership. You start thinking about who you are as you're doing it. Are you somebody who's trying to be impressive? Or are you somebody who's trying to be focused just completely on performance and being better than everyone else, which actually makes people feel less than? Or are you more interested in being knowledgeable and being present and connecting with others, which means active listening, reflective listening, sharing information, sharing insights, lifting others up? Those are the leaders that are going to take us where we need to go as a society into the next realm. Those are the leaders that are going to be taking over VP and C-suite positions at some of the biggest companies in the world if they haven't already. That is what I want to leave you with today. Think about where you're trying to be impressive versus knowledgeable, impressive versus connected, just another human being having a conversation. And I guarantee you will start to notice changes in your relationships, changes in your results, and changes in how you feel about yourself. One of my favorite podcasters today is Jefferson Fisher. One of my favorite quotes from him is that people don't need you to be perfect. They need you to be present. Please tune in next week and continue to like, subscribe, and follow us on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and all other platforms. Also here on Instagram and Facebook. Have a great day.